Damn, it sure feels good to spit in Volstead's eye, that son of a bitch. Meyer's eyes? Oh my god! His face is like, what? Hello, my lovelies. My name is Leckakay, and welcome back to Your Dry Delight. So we are on the final episode. If you guys missed the other three, make sure you go back and watch them. There will be a link in the icon in the top right corner where you can go watch them, so pause this one if you have not already. But this is going to be the thrilling conclusion where Leslie and Meyer finally strike some kind of deal so that both parties hopefully can be happy and win out of the situation. So, without wasting any time, let's get into it. Just like Leslie is saying. Let's hear your proposal, Eastman. We're listening. Of course. I'm sure both of you are exceptionally busy men. We shifted to a fairly close circle, close enough that we don't risk our voices carrying too far. Leslie stands nearer to my side than Meyer, almost protective in his stance. I don't know what he thinks he can do. If worse comes to worse, I guess I could pick him up and use him as a battering ram. I assume you're already aware of my influence in our city, and the control I have over a large amount of business. But I'm not without competition. There are a number of smaller, persistent groups that, while less organized, are still significant. And as a result of my extensive network, I'm very familiar with the movements of those various outfits and their leaders across Cleveland. In English, that means you know what the other gangs are up to, right? Precisely, Richter. He winks at me almost imperceptibly, like I've finally been let in on some kind of inside joke. I propose that I offer a steady stream of that information to you, more than enough to fill the reports for the FBI, surely, at least for the time being. You'll discover a new warehouse to raid every other week, one that coincidentally belongs to a different organization than my own. Funny thing how coincidences like that happen. Leslie quips dryly, glancing between Meyer and me. His gaze stays locked with mine for several seconds, one eyebrow raised in a what do you make of this so far kind of way. So, what would you be wanting in exchange? A level of discretion on your part that will allow me to carry on with my own business. Meyer murmurs his terms rather naturally, blowing on his nails and polishing them nonchalantly on his collar. I'll see to it that my men keep their noses clean. After all, I'm interested in providing alcohol to customers, not filling the streets with bodies of the enemies. Very poetic. There's certainly more where that came from. He doesn't even make eye contact, innocently gazing in another direction, but his tone is teasing enough to get the message across. Leslie narrows his eyes a little at Meyer. Is he trying to read him, or has he already made up his mind? Believe me, I don't doubt that a part of this conflicts with your senses of justice as detectives. After speaking with Richter, I wouldn't expect anything less. But you're both logical, practical men. Try to view the situation through a more objective lens. There's a short pause, but an important one. My mind flashes back to my conversation with Leslie, our doubts and guilt over what we're doing. If you took me to jail right now, and by some miracle managed to convict me, someone else will only step up to take my place. This war on liquor will never really end. It should never have existed to begin with. All it succeeded in doing was creating a different sort of industry, a more dangerous one. With all that in mind, his dark green eyes flick from me to Leslie and back to me. Why not compromise and make your employers happy, in exchange for making the American people happy? Once he finishes speaking, a longer silence falls over the room. Leslie rubs at his shoulder with one hand, staring at the floor with a deep, brooding expression, and I fall into my own complicated thoughts. I've always wanted to control crime, uphold the law, and fall asleep with a clean conscience every night. But when it comes to Prohibition, that same question keeps surfacing in my mind. Is enforcing the law really really the right thing to do? Should we follow federal orders like mindless slaves, or should we make our own judgment in cases like this? I steal a glance up at Meyer. He returns my gaze with a gentle, calm smile, eyes glimmering curiously. Richter! Leslie turns to face me, his features carefully composed in an unusually neutral mask. Any thoughts? Deciding to let my apparently crippling honesty speak for me, I take a deep breath. I don't think Prohibition is meant to last. I take pride in my job, but I get nothing out of enforcing Volstead's middle finger to America. Snatching away hooches just to suit the Fed's fancy, that doesn't sit right with me. And as for Meyer, I think he's right, boss. With him or without him, the liquor business here will keep going, and I'd rather someone like Meyer run it than some crew out for blood as much as profit. Leslie chews on his lip. He's wavering on the brink of deciding something, but I can't tell the way he's leaning. Whatever decision you make, boss, I'll stand behind it. You can count on that. I know, Richter. That's why you're my partner. After a lengthy pause, Leslie finally breaks into a faint smile, turning his gaze from me to Meyer. Listen, I can't promise a deal will hold forever, Meyer. There's always a risk that someone will fall out or will get moved on to a different case. I'm well aware, so few good things last forever. But that's more reason to enjoy them while they last, isn't it? I'll drink to that, all right. He suddenly takes a deep, sharp breath, eyes flashing. Damn, it sure feels good to spit in Volstead's eye, that son of a bitch. Meyer's eyes? Oh my god! His face is like, what? And grabs Meyer's hand firmly, shaking it with pure determination. In fact, he seems so convicted that I have to wonder how hard the decision really was for him. He's just pausing for dramatic effect back then, wasn't he? You know, my sister got married last week and the reception was completely dry. Not a drop of booze in sight. Have you ever had to sit through 15 wedding speeches completely sober? I've never prayed so hard for the rapture in my life. Oh, that was Meyer laughing, but that was my own laugh coming out. As his hand is pumped up and down by an enthusiastic Leslie, Meyer breaks into delighted laughter, maybe the first time I've ever heard him be so loud. Whether it's from amusement or relief, though, I can't really tell. Well, this is a cause for celebration, gentlemen. Wouldn't you agree? Meyer steps over to the door, lightly knocking 4 times. A few seconds later, it opens lightly, and someone discreetly hands him a bottle and several wine glasses. Is that... You had them bring it here? Wasn't that a bit presumptuous? I only make bets I'm confident in. I have a feeling we're going to get along just fine. They exchange playful glances, and then their eyes slide over to me. Why do I suddenly feel like a rabbit being spotted by a pair of lions? Hey, what are you? Before I knew it, the other two had taken my arms, pulling me over to the foot of the bed. Like they're operating on some new unspoken pact, they sandwich me between them before I can even finish my protest. Shall we toast to the success of our new partnership? Don't mind if I do. You're a true gentleman after all, Meyer. Leslie holds out his glass and Meyer casually reaches over to pour me some. And of course, we shouldn't forget the wonderful little detective who brought us together, should we? Well, it's nothing really. I humbly nominate him as our ambassador, the key component to making sure our arrangement runs smoothly. That's actually not a bad idea. He can't tell a lie to save his life, so it's better for him than undercover work, that's for sure. What the? I didn't agree to this, did I? Hello? Agree? Richter, please. You're merely continuing the role you already have. You heard the man, Richter. Ambassador is a great sounding title, too. I'm jealous. Very funny. You fellas, you're a real riot. Aw, that's adorable. Something about pouring them liquor. My mind begins to picture how many other deals like this will take place while Prohibition goes on. It's already changed our country forever, changed us as Americans forever, though I doubt we'll understand the full scale of it for many, many years. But when I think about all the detectives and officers who will one day reach the same conclusion as us, I have to wonder, just how much longer will this dry America last? Not much longer. Aw, that's so cute. I think it's definitely fair to keep him 4 days a week with me. Oh! Like they're treating a child! I think it's definitely fair to keep him 4 days a week with me. 4 days? You greedy bastard! Trying to monopolize him, eh? I tune back into a good-natured argument, one that seems to be about, what if we shared him for 1 day? Surely a reasonable man like yourself would agree to that, Leslie. Sharing him for a day, eh? You know, I think that can be arranged. What the hell kind of conversation are you? Never mind. Oh my god, that's so cute! I love it so much. Aww. That was sweet. Prohibition lasted from 1920 to 1933. So I guess their deal lasted for another probably 10, 11 years. And hopefully the relationship that he built, whether he decided to be with Leslie or Meyer, or if they decided to be polyamorous and they all got into a relationship together, works out. That was very, very, very well done. Thank you so much to everybody who made this game. Argent Games, this was freaking fantastic, and I can't wait to hopefully play other visual novels of yours in the future, because these were amazing, and I really, really enjoyed it. So, thank you very much. Thank all of you guys for coming and watching. I know that this was kind of a shorter one, so I didn't realize it was gonna be this short. Otherwise, I may not have actually made it its own episode. No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. John Donne. Okay. Don't know who John Donne is, but there we go. Got a nice little quote from him. And that is the end of your Dry Delight. Like I was saying, thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed it, then please remember to drop a like on the episode down below. And without taking up any more else time, I will go ahead and let you beautiful people go. Goodbye, my lovelies.
3, 2, 1, jump!